Good morning, peoples. Bruce with Targeted Wealth Creation. All right, I'm here to talk about Kurv's big change. As you know, in the past, I've done several Kurv. I report on Kurv. They've got six funds that are equivalent, in other words, the same companies that YIELDMAX has. And traditionally, they win on total return, usually 5 out of 6. YIELDMAX pays more, but erodes in the NAV price more. So that's why Curve almost always wins. Well, one of the things that Curve is doing is joining the weekly club. I just caught this today. So I wanted to get something out on it. So let me recap what has been going on. So they have a Tesla, TSLP, they have a Netflix, NFLP, they have Apple, AAPY, they have Goop for Google, AMZP for Amazon, MSFY for Microsoft, and they have what they call their tech titans, KQQQQ. So that one is not exactly relevant to YIELDMAX, but the other six are. So what I've done with these guys in the past, oh, whoops, I hit the wrong one. Here we go. This is a chart I wanted to be showing you. I just had a different view of it before. So you can see that we did a January distribution recently, right? On 18. So I don't have the pay dates and stuff, but anyway, it was a couple weeks ago because I'm noticing that I have the 17th price. That probably means it was the 18th for the declaration. No, that's a Saturday. That doesn't make that much sense. But bottom line, here's their January distributions, right, for their various funds. Oh, here we go. It's right down here. So they declared on 121, ex-dividend 123, and pay date 124. Well, you remember there was Martin Luther King. There were some special holidays here. So I remember using the 17th price for the declared date of 121 because you had the weekend for the other period of time and then a holiday. All right. So the pertinent data is what are they changing? How are they going weekly? All right, let's jump into it. So for their 2025 quarter one distribution schedule and going forward, please note the dates have changed. You can go out on the website and check this out. So basically, they're doing something like a group. They're not calling it Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D to mimic um, YIELDMAX, but essentially that's what they're doing. So they're saying, hey, our January distribution, right, declaration date of 121, ex-dividend pay date, are all January. That all happened, same as when they're monthly. But going forward, they jump up here to 2-4, 2-5, and 2-6, right? So here's your declare date. Next week, as a matter of fact, is that a Tuesday? Or is that a Wednesday? That's a Tuesday. Okay, so they declare on that date. TSLP alone, so the Tesla paying fund is week one. They then on week two have two payers, right? So basically they have seven total companies. Six, like I said, are single stock mimicked at the same as YIELDMAX, very popular, well-known companies. It's only the KQQ, they're tech titans, and I can get into what that is in a different period of time. So you see week one for that week, then they come in on 211, 212, and 213, pay on 213, declare on 211 the next week, and those will be their AMZ and their Microsoft payers for week two. So think of it as, again, Group A, Group B, Group C, right? Because you guys that all wanted that, obviously you're telling Curve that you want weekly pays. Now, these guys do have very good funds. I will tell you right up front that their assets under management, their AUM, very small, right? But not because they're not a good fund. I think the word just hasn't gotten out there. So with this next thing, I think these guys will grow. They're not a huge competitor. This is all they really have. I remember interviewing the CEO back in the middle of last year saying, "Are you going to do a crypto?" Right? Because that was when Coney and Misty were killing it. And I had already done the analysis on the Tesla and on the Google. And even on their website now, they finally come out on Tesla and GUI, right? Their Goop is what they call their GUI, their Google. They kill YIELDMAX in total return. I mean, kill them. Those are substantially higher. Okay. Again, they almost always underpay. They may, one may yield 60% on YIELDMAX, they may yield 40, but then they hardly have any or don't have any NAV loss and YIELDMAX gets killed. So it's one of those things they win on total return. I get it. If I give you 80% yield in a YIELDMAX fund and Kurv only gives you 20%, but it didn't go down as much, then and they're close, they get down in total return and Kurv wins by 2%, and you go, yeah, Bruce, I'm getting this 80% yield along the way. I like that. Even though my total return is slightly, I don't blame you, right? But in the case of Tesla and Goop, they pretty much kill them. They're significantly higher. Still slightly less revenue along the way, but they kill them in total return. So to me, you can't ignore that. So I noticed on their website when I was going out and getting this data that they highlight those two because those are their two biggest winners. They win in three of the other four, the remaining four. They just don't win by as a significant margin. So FYI, guys, you got now group A's, group B's, group C's, group D's. Obviously you got one payer in there and everybody else has two payers. And this is just duplicated again. So when you see on my spreadsheet from 12 through 15, it's nothing but a duplicate. So why? Because they're showing you the first quarter, January, February, March, right? And so they held to their monthly standard in January. So now keep in mind these are going to be smaller because well, actually, they're not going to be that much smaller. They're still going to be around the same. So they're taking monthly and they're just breaking them into groups. I thought for a minute they're going to be paying multiple times, but they're not really a YMAX or a YMAG, and they don't have a portfolio like the LFGY and Gaputi. Okay, guys, I won't belabor that. Let me see if I have anything on Titans. No, this was kind of some of the summaries I did across shorter periods of time, longer periods of time. And Curve wins almost always. Here's a Netflix, right, where they actually won. So anyway, very interesting. I think Curve's a great fund. They got good people. I think their assets under management will grow. The only impact I really see with that is if you're writing puts or something on top of you're out in Goop, right? And you want to trade options on that, whereas sometimes on NVIDIA and on Coney and on Misty, I've done it before where I can write some options out there on the actual fund because, and it's not huge volume, but there is enough volume. You don't have that in the Curve funds. All right, guys, that's what I got for you. I'm going to let you go. I got another thing to get out here. Have a great rest of your week. Okay, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. It's for fun and entertainment. See ya. Bye for now.